You see, a lot of people in other nations in distress and with the need of help. Now, where is our troops? Why are they demand to keep quiet? Because they would be violating are aren't they being like in a friendship with other nations' armies? A nation that wants to enter these lands and devour children and all of the goods of America? Now, America people, all America, North America, doesn't matter from what country you came from, to asylum and refugee or brought by the guidance or that you believe there was freedom, the land of freedom. There is a nation that wants to do horrible things to this country and continent. You see, all Central and South America people live with gratitude, love. The disturbance has begun ever since the infiltration and not only the infiltration, the taking of the people's belongings and safe way of marketing or safe way of living. I will say it because I know they know that all Central and South America, it is beautiful. Those people have no need to come to the United States or North America. Yet, some do it because they want to share their service because that's their pride, their ability, their willing, and the blessing of their work. Yet, when the infiltration causes devastation, now we have those that run to the land of freedom, to where all refugees have run to. Now, what is the purpose? To cause disturbance and to put foreign gods before those humble people of all the American continent. The people from Mexico, the town of Israel, because one thing is the land of Israel, another is a town. I say this because they must know, because those that want to destroy them is why they have divided them in groups and make it seem like a druggy war. Oh, it is better for those to whom may concern to, whether you're in the District of Columbia, that has acted with an intelligence to divide and provide deadly artillery. To make them go like in a Hunger Game. For the minimal of them that are still left, I will arise, says Jehovah. Because if I don't, none of them will be saved. Now, Icanos, by paid to some of the NASA people to make you a fort, because you know that there ain't a place in earth was found for you. Now, with an urgency. You say that you want to establish that space center, you already have it. You already have it. Now you want to use those innocent people to try to fly another space center, hoping they will make it up there. Even whether you do or not, it is written that if in the altitudes, like the eagles, you want to make your nest, I will derive you. I will bring you back down to earth for you to receive your crop. And if in the deepness of the oceans, under the waters, you want to hide, there I will give orders to the serpent to bring you out to shore. You're the one that it's written from. That says, here I am making my words a fire in your mouth. And this people is the wood, and it will consume them. Here I am bringing in on you a nation from far away. O house of Israel, mi pueblo, declares Jehovah. It is an enduring nation. It is an ancient nation, a nation whose language you do not know, and whose speech you cannot understand. Their quiver is like an open grave. All of them are warriors. They will devour your harvest and your bread. They will devour your sons and your daughters. This has been taking place. Okay? How they devour my people? With their sarsinist and their toxins, and many evil ways. And with the power that the people provided by giving the economic system attention. But I tell my people, they got no power at all. They have the negative numbers and depths that we can that will die before we pay off. Now you want to pay off quick? They don't. They push the economic system. But why don't they remind and say, if they were for the people, they would say, okay, people, you got to have in your minds that when we halt the economy on 2008, it's because a lot of people was being established and having a little rest. They took everybody's piggy banks to finance them a home. They played a very dark and very planned act, premeditated act against the people of America by telling them their payments were only so much. Then within a year, depending the contracts, to some people their payment was up to 4,500 a month. And you halt the economic because you believe you have the control. Hurting the nation worse than an atomic blast. We saw many families kill themselves. And this time that you have devoured the crops and everything, and now you have the big major markets at your disposition too. And you are confiding or putting your trust that the nations, the people, our children and sons will battle us, their own family, to protect you from the worst terrorist attacks against the people that has feeded you so many years. I'm going to tell the rest of the continent I'm going to aware the rest of the continent of the 13 colonies. Now, those that are commanding and making our troops believe that they cannot tell the family members or nothing what they have been doing in another, when they're overseas and stuff like that, because it's so highly secreted, that's a big lie. That's a big manipulation. Our troops have no business nor to risk their limbs, their lives, because the economical system manipulators are having a difficult time making another leader or governor or whoever enters that's elected by the people. You quickly go and jam them up like you did to the son of the father from North Korea. It took you years making them fall in your same ring. And you lie to this nation that protects other nations. It's like the biggest game. Like we see when two head guys are going to talk, they bring their backup. And there goes our troops. Sometimes it's a hoax just to tell the American people we spended so many children, billions on this deployed because we were in danger. Are you still in the plan to go about your evil intentions? Because look, what good did it do to you to earn all the richnesses if this same night they come and knock on your door, or they come and ask for your soul? You sold it. Now, my intention is to let you know that my hand still stretched, says Jehovah. I'm not too far to where I cannot be reached. be handed to me, you will be mine. I will teach you how to plant a seed and how God, our God of armies, Jehovah of armies, waters that seed. Because Jehovah kept searching. He found a way, like he has said. And he's saying, now you have the people in submission, in depth. You have the people fearing that other countries going to attack, so that you may share those big lump sums of that supposed deployment that cost the country so much. Did you pay the ocean, the air? What did you pay with those billions? What did you pay? NASA, the trillions or billions on some expeditions? What did they pay? The particles of this planet provides even our food. Now you make it seem like they're very rich, those that you keep captive from being a regular citizen with the people. That you make concerts with them. I will free them from you. And all the rest of America and all the nations need to be aware of the type of animals. And I can't compare you with animals. I hope you're offending the precious of the animals. The repugnant that you are with people and the young children of the nations. And for the economic system, we're not going to allow you even to laugh on the people of the nations of how you are the worst of the worst in the existing, that you abuse because you think that you have the power of the economic system by submitting the people under negative numbers, and all your evil ways will perish with you. We need to bring our troops to our nation and the Supreme Court, even with Attorney General of the United States, Jeff Sessions. Are you an Attorney General for the people of the nation? Or are you an attorney that will not be able to defend the monsters, the worst of the worst of all times? Because every single personnel that protects and serves and maintains the peace they are to defend their nation, their people. Every nation applies. We need to secure that those packs of wolves do not have no access to the weaponry, because they are cowards. They will try to hurt the people. They cannot hurt the people more than they have. By the spirit of truth and discernment, that those with the word does not return without the effect. Hearts, minds will be released. The yoke has been broken. It breaks the yoke of all the lies of this economical abusing system. The people from this nation to the neighbor nation, to all the nations around this globe, we stretch our hands to each other and to the air And we say thank you, God, the true God, Jehovah of armies, the one that said, I will not let it go beyond what you can bear. Any parent cannot bear to see the beautiful women of these countries that these bastards are after. Those that even signal them out barely legal, hunting down our children. I'll read a little more. They will devour your sons and your daughters. They will devour your flocks and your herds. And that leaves us with their big markets thinking that they have the control. They will devour your vines and your fig trees. They will destroy with the sword the fortified cities in which you trust. It doesn't mean to destroy the structures, the cities that we trust. They have destroyed those cities that we have trust. For example, the capitals, our states, and they have gone down to counties, and they're in cities. For what reason? Because them too are submitted into debt. And in order to preserve a roof, they're going to, with the economical system, they're going to protect us. That's where the prophecy of they all have gone corrupt accomplishes. Now I want to remind those that I have prayed and that the Spirit is willing that we may reverse to protect those that provide, that built that economical system that is against us. It was given to them almost 2 years ago. A release. It was given to them a method of how to release the pressure that they were submitting people to, because in order to stop their evil intentions. And the method was to, if the nation's in debt, and everybody is in debt. How many times we're supposed to forgive those that are in debt with us? Not only 7 times, but 7 times 70. Now, it was asked to the economic system to forgive a 70% of everybody's debts, of every single loan of, of what is at risk being taken away. If you want to have a real meal during the weekdays, if you want to have a real meal in the table at your home with your children, with your loved ones, with your queen, if your desire was and you would take or make happen that desire to go and have a meal at home with your family, the table will be confiscated under your plate. What a great economical system. I wanted something that can match to challenge me. They will destroy with the sword your fortified cities in which you trust. Yet, even in those days, declares Jehovah, I will not carry out a complete extermination of you. And when they ask, why has Jehovah, our God, done all these things to us? I shall answer them, just as you abandoned me to serve foreign God in your land, so you will serve foreign in a land that is not yours. Just like you have served a foreign God in this land, you will serve in a foreign land that it ain't yours. And I'm going to let you know, it's fun to work the soil, to see how our food is produced by the power of God's creation. That your economic system, yeah, yours, because you don't want to help the people that produced it. The nation's in debt, you say, and I'll count you. Not too many, just a bunch. They're multi-billionaires. Is that right? They don't see the people that produce it, the people that honored those masters that you called employers, because people do God's gifts of spirit that's in us. Declare this in the house of Jacob, and proclaim it in Judah, saying, hear this, you foolish and senseless people, to those that it may concern to. They have eyes, yet cannot see. They have ears, but cannot hear. Do you not fear me, declares Jehovah? Should you not tremble before me? It is I who placed the sand and the boundary for the sea, a permanent regulation that it cannot pass over, although its waves toss, they cannot prevail. Although they roar, they still cannot pass beyond it, not unless it's ordered. Yet this people has a stubborn and rebellious heart. They have turned aside and gone their own way. And they do not say in their heart, let us now fear Jehovah our God, the one who gives the rain in its season, both the autumn rain and the spring rain. In its season measured. Now we see torrentials flowing after the wicked ones. We see some that go spinning round and round. Others exhume in fire. Some rot, some dry. The one who guards for us the appointed weeks of the harvest. Your own errors have prevented these things from coming. Your own sins have deprived you of what is good. Now it's talking to the people that we're accepting foreign gods, that those serve, and now they have even uglier ones. By doing so, we have deprived ourselves from the rain with measure. We knew when the first day of rain was, and they would not miss the very day, the first day of rain, the calendar, and it rained. And so, like it's written about torrential waters, the hailstorms, it is by no scriptures written that it will meteorite this earth, that it will rock it. It's the hail rock. Remember, God does not rejoice with the wrong things nor doing bad things. You have prevented these things from coming. Your own sins have deprived you of what is good. That's why they started submitting people in sin, and they're trying to push it into some countries that does now allow it, that does not allow the media, nor their HBO, or none of that wicked with the intentions to put people at their stake, to where our shield is taken. Your own sins have deprived you of what is good. We're slaves. Slavery. You can't have a meal, a decent meal. The yoke has been broken. The spirit is willing. We pray, our Father in heaven, to purify his name. That is the most famous above all. Establish the kingdom of freedom so that his will may be done here on earth like it is in heaven. Jehovah ain't demanding nor commanding a submission into anything. He is a true father, the one that said, do not call, or do not say, or do not name no one father in the world we're some that we're here in the world, but we not pertain to the world, or we're not grasped or given into the world. We are the true dads and fathers. Don't call no one a teacher in the world. Because to teach is to teach the way of living, the way of loving, the way of rejoicing and being fruitful. Now we all get to know that Jehovah, a true father, only wants to release you from the oppression, from the diseases, from pain and suffering, from that stressful, mocking economical system that does not understand or cannot see because they don't want to, that 4 checks does not compare to multiple billions. 4 checks a month, and how many bills are stacked up on you that are pushing you deeper into a debt. And we have no choice than to submit to this so many work that they want to create more, like to have double shift or 12-hour working days. That's not working, it's destroying. That alone, every single sentence is clarifying because the spirit is willing and the people has awakened. Because we have a Father that does not like to see his children in the submission of a slavery of those that devour our children. That manage to break sacred families. That's what the administrations do with not knowing, reporting everything. To where it all ends up in their Wall Street Journal. And they tell you the great economical system so that you're completely lost and engaged in their lie and the yoke that has been broken. That type of wrongful being has never been registered in history before. People should not fear that the movies, that's something else. Any of you being lost in this world because of the economics, you still have heart to see your children in need, right? And your only choice is not even think about it that you're going to live, that you got to go. You need to go because they will write you up. Because you went to attend a matter for one of your children. They don't care about children. They want to devour them. If it's about somebody's children, go. You're still on the clock. Don't worry. Because the economic system has got to keep it. If it was real, you got to keep it with all the shafts of the gears running smoothly. It ain't like that. A four-teeth gear cannot keep spinning another one of all the bills that you get a month. Now, we keep moving on. We keep stepping forward. Because it is the persecution of the Christians. Meaning that you're the one chasing after them, right? Persecution of the Christians. That's why they have the space station. Pretty sure NASA personnel will act a Transformers act. Sending them up there, but they explode. So we need to make sure that they were in there because they were not allowed. However, they'll be marked. Now it's very simple. That the Justice Supremes and all courts federal and state that they will let the judges be judges. It's very simple to know who is who. We asked Christ, and Christ said, by their doings or their acts, you will know. You know them. And without delay, it should be ruled to begin a start in schools on all our educational that the greatest book of all times, the manual of life, the word of the potential opening of the NASA's unidentified objects. Let me identify them for you a little bit. They've been watching you, letting you know, look, we're untouchable. That they patrol the space. That they have a barrier that you cannot pass. And if you try so, you go into pieces. Just like the last one, the Discovery, disintegrated out of bounds. not going to get into details about the Challenger. We'll let NASA explain that one. Okay. Oh, you top leading, the ones that both thought that they're untouchable. Some of you will be an example for all these on that pyramid to see, so that they may not try to be you when you're no more, so that they not imitate you when you ain't anymore. Now, don't let it be too late. For some, have been too late already. Now, remember, the bottom were the one that sustains you. We are Jehovah's belonging, the Creator belonging. For the eternity. Those hearing these words rejoice, they are, yet don't show your rejoicement, so that those that are wicked don't think that we're laughing at them, because that's what they do, mock and scorn. Even in my presence, says Jehovah. Hear this, you foolish and senseless people. They have eyes, yet cannot see. Who? The foreign gods, and those ones that they're building and the ones that they have built. They have ears and cannot hear. They don't hear. Do you not fear me, declares Jehovah? Should you not tremble before me? It is I who placed the sand as the boundary for the sea, a permanent regulation that it cannot pass over. Although its waves toss, they cannot prevail. Although they roar, they cannot pass beyond it. Yet this people has a stubborn and rebellious heart. They have turned aside and gone their own way. And they do not say in their heart, let us now fear Jehovah our God. Come on, people. Let's not go our own way when God is releasing us from the oppression. We must care for one another, that no one shall lack anything, because we are seeking the kingdom, establishing the King of Kings, Christ. Remember that the world will not see me no more. Yet happy are those, the eyes of those that are meek and cleansed, because they will see God. That's why NASA can't see beyond, can't make out on nothing. That's why they cannot even identify those objects that move. And they teach us in school it's a moving star or falling star. Yet the scriptures say that God knows each one of them by their name, and they do His will, and they patrol. That's why when you raise your eyes to the heavens, the shining stars, you shall respect, like respecting your neighbor. The speed that they move, NASA has even declared that they will never have the ability, not even for a 10% of what their speed. And God shows us through the eagles how it can dive down, grab its prey, and pick up altitude without slamming against the ground, against gravity. All those unique and precious, breathtaking creations that God has done. Even NASA studies them so close to try to imitate. And we've seen some foolish pilots try to do it and they slam and however, that all our educational system, not system, educational of knowledge, of wisdom, of freedom will apply the word, the living word. So that they will know that nor that hairy man that they say that all those that took the glory up on themselves and perished for doing so, and now that the system wants to keep the system going to an end, yes, and then it's going to be the new that I just said. It wants to keep those scientific discoveries, you will learn how foolish our leaders, our medical, food and drug administrations, all the administrations, because the upper ones, meaning the more liar, the more you're getting paid off. And it ain't like that either. There are some that they agreed to betray all the personnel that's under their supposed authority. And know that even that one that has all that personnel under his authority, he doesn't even know the truth, nor has an answer for his question. But he must not do it, so he don't do it. Getting paid more than you, better than you. Now the higher and upper ranks, the higher it goes, the dangerous that it is. Because those that have the authority of all that personnel that's under him reports. Let's say perhaps you say, to your partner, hey, um, I think that it's wrong that they don't let us search this or search on that, what my gut's telling me. They divert us to their command. And you must leave that in order to preserve your position, that supposed big luxury, because now you're in a higher level. It's a submission, a complete trap. It is necessary that I explain about all the levels so that they all may disengage. Now, your own errors prevented these things from coming. Your own sins have deprived you of what is good. For among my people there are wicked men. They keep peering as when bird catchers crouch down. They set a deadly trap. It is men whom they catch. Like a cage full of birds, so their houses are full of deception. That is why they have become powerful and rich. Understand? They crouch. Gates. They trap man like trapping a bird. You know a bird is always going to fight until it settles and gives in. They have grown fat and smooth. They overflow with evil. They do not plead the legal case of the fatherless. They have grown fat and smooth. They overflow with evil. They do not plead the legal case of the fatherless, that they may gain success, and they deny justice to the poor. Should I not call them to account for these things, declares Jehovah? Should I not avenge myself on such a nation? something appalling and horrible has occurred in the land. The prophets prophesy lies, and the priests dominate by their own authority. And my own people love it that way. Yet, what will you do when the end comes? What will you do when the end arrives? Because we have priests preaching that 10% that it's supposed to be of your crops of crop, not monetary. And the prophets prophesy lies. For example, they have supposedly the major brujo, that he's nothing but a stupid one that they use because something happens, and then they'll make him a video, since they control the media flow in our television, and say, look, he had prophesied this and it happened. And people, wow, ooh. Because he has some stupid images with him. But he's willing to do it because he gets paid for it. But the one that really pays is going to pay him. The harvest I'm telling you, it's ripe. Remember that I pick where I did not plant it. I'll harvest where I did not plant. And I plant where I do not harvest. Meaning that all that you have planted are my people. I can harvest it. I can pick it and harvest it. Or come get your harvest. Remember, do to others as they want others to do to you. So it happens automatically. Because those that are poor you will be looking up to. And from the poorest man, one that did not have nor went through the school system, even though they wanted to incarcerate my father for that. We had to travel to have an excuse of why is your child in school? Why is he not in school? One that I can call a teacher in sixth grade that they made me go forcefully. It was a math teacher named Richard. He would cheer me up. He said, don't feel bad about all these people laughing at you because you don't know how to read. Or because all your answers are wrong. And my answers were right. School personnel don't know how the system really uses them. Yet, when the time of testing, the first time to test you, they send in, why do you think that those test sheets are computerized sheets? Where do you think that gets reported to? Now, a child will not pass grade if he's still sane on that grade. He needs to pass the final test that lets them know he's good for the next level. We have taken all the truth of this level. We have abstracted from him. And filled him with lies that will be one of our, at our, for our, at our discretion, we'll use them. Note that not everybody gets the same test. And on the first testing that is supposedly not important, to them is very important because they get answers that they don't know. And then they get you going with a literature book. Oh, you passed the test because this is the truth. Is that so? So those testing sheets, not even the teachers, not even the local principals know where that data ends up, but I know. So our education system is, is programming you and learning from you and programming you to be their slave. So Japan, China, those intelligence centers, Pentagon, you have any testing sheets for me? Any answers that you want to know? They know how to take a child's vision to put them in a number of lenses to where that human has no pleasure because he can't see. He can't see, he can't run like others would run and have fun. And his pleasure becomes to where he's reading and reading because he doesn't have the vision to enjoy that automatically puts him in a state of mind. That's how they make and they select those that are going to the justice systems and so and so. And if you have a connection with such I hate to say this, but you are fooling and trying to hide underneath the women. And women say, yeah, wow, I'm in command. I want you to know, women, that those are cowards. Some people may not hear this. They might think he's crazy. It's okay. You don't have why to hear. The worst of the worst of all times. Yet those that are listening and are perhaps, let's say, Trump could be listening. It's gotta have a purpose. And it's a purpose that now that he has released from all his life business, man, he was taken. But now he gets on his feet and he sees the nation. And he don't even want to look back. To where he must report, submit, and agree to be somebody that the nation will entertain, mock him, and all that, so it becomes an entertainment to divert justice seekers. And we have, I hope, that I don't see in any channel nor in the flow of news those that were trained with dark death that has them for the darkness unless they repent and publicly. You don't have to rush right now. When the waters are more clear, when it gets a little clearer, when you're not in danger anymore. because the economical cowards from the very top I will receive him, but I will not catch him when he falls. He will call on me, and I will not hear him. It'll be too late.